I'm Ryan Gass. I'm the president and lead instructor of Practical Training Professionals Incorporated. We go oftentimes by PTPGun.com. So I was born and raised in Larentown, Maryland. Grew up my entire life in St. Mary's County and never was really around firearms. My dad was an entrepreneur. Him and his family, his father actually started Heritage Printing, and him and his brother grew to take over that, and they run that now. They've been doing that for decades, and that might be where I got some of my entrepreneur spirit from. So we're gonna take a range trailer. We got a bunch of our targets and target stands and things of that nature, trash cans, whatnot, things we need for the range. And we're going to take that down to our spot that we're shooting at down in Calvert County, Maryland. Get that set up. It's 2 days before class, and gotta get things lined up.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, what's going on, man? This is Brian Smith.
Hey, not much, man. Sorry I got caught up yesterday.
No worries.
I'm actually up on the road now. Perfect time to talk.
Absolutely. Hey, so I saw you're interested in getting the HQL training and possibly Maryland carry as well.
Yes, sir. Yep. Me and my wife are interested in doing the HQL. Obviously, I have a couple of guns that I need to transfer over to myself and get myself and her our HQLs, and then pretty much discuss possible carry options and the classes and so forth on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So a couple things. If you are trying to do HQL and carry, just do the carry class, because that meets the requirements for both. That'll save you time and money on that. Two, are you in Mechanicsville?
I am, yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Well, Leonardtown, Mechanicsville area.
So like we actually have, this weekend we're going to be in Lexington Park, but next weekend we are going to be in Mechanicsville. And I believe we still have, I want to say about 4 more spots left for that. We can get her in just for HQL, and we can get you in for both HQL and carry during that time, if that's something you wanted to do. Which one would work best for you guys, you think?
Probably the later date you just mentioned, the
16th and 17th in Lexington Park?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, more than likely those two. And so what you were saying with the HQL and carry, so if I do the carry class, will that consider the HQL under that as well?
Right, that'll meet and exceed the requirements for both.
Gotcha, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
My mother was coming back and forth between, stay-at-home mom to cutting hair to stay-at-home mom to she ended up going into the National Guard when I was in high school. My parents actually split. I was in, I believe it was 6th grade. Didn't take too kind to that, and I was the young rebellious type. I was a little bit of an asshole. Being conservative when I say a little bit, Mom had various boyfriends and stuff over the years. My dad, found one girlfriend, and soon thereafter they got married. During those years, I remember for a little bit there I was living with my mom, and I remember I got pissed off because again I was a young rebellious asshole, and I threw a phone. It bounced off the ground and hit the window and broke it, and I left. I was gone, and I ran away. And she ended up after a couple hours calling the cops and stuff, and she said, "Man, we're not babysitters. We're not gonna go out there and babysit your runaway son and whatnot. Unless you got something to charge his ass with, we ain't looking for him." So she charged me with destruction of property with that window, and soon thereafter they found me. I was almost to my dad's house. I remember I got picked up by a state trooper, and I was almost to my dad's house, and got picked up, arrested, processed, released, and you know, it served its purpose. So you know, the very next day was Monday, and my mom went into the state's attorney's office and got the charges dropped. I had to do some community service and whatnot related to that. You know, a few years later, I was in high school. I got kicked out of my parents' house. My mom was out doing National Guard thing. My dad was, you know, with his, you know, wife and whatnot, and got kicked out when I was. It was a week before my 16th birthday. I got kicked out, and luckily enough, my buddy, his parents, you know, took me in and whatnot, and I finished out my high school years there. I remember being with with a relative of mine, let's put it that way. I was with a relative of mine, and they had told me about how another relative of mine had done some inappropriate things with them, and I took it upon myself to be the person to lay out justice, I guess you would say, and I was going to kill that person, and I took a baseball bat and I marched over to that person's house. I remember they were sleeping on the couch. I woke them up, and I don't know how, but I never, you know, actually assaulted the person. I didn't actually kill them like I wanted to that day. I remember I got actually interrupted by by another relative, and we wrestled. We were beating the shit out of each other, and soon thereafter, the cops showed up, and you know, a couple days later, I got a restraining order against me, and because it was a relative, it falls under it falls under the category of domestic. So if you even case search me to this day, it still comes up. You can see where I had a protective order against me, and still being relatively young. I was still in high school, but I was 18 at the time. And not quite understanding exactly what that meant, how serious it was to have a protective order against you, and honestly not taking it serious nonetheless. I violated it in a pretty basic way, violated it, got arrested that afternoon, again, taken down to the county courthouse, taken down to the detention center, and processed, booked, released, which, by the way, that you know, that sheriff's deputy from that arrest, who actually recently passed, they, you know, they dealt with me really great, real mother-like, you know, kind of helped set me straight a little bit, and that was just 2 months before I was set to leave for the Marine Corps.
Always try to accuse me for stealing, and then I finally just left. Because you gotta do that. Cameras prove everything. 353.
For more with Dr. Kelly McGonigal and other
Maxed out at $100. That's always great. Thanks, Biden. Ryan Gass with PTP.
Hey, Ryan, it's Scott Willis.
Hey, what's going on, man?
How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Hey, I'm going to ask you a technical question. Maybe you can help me out, because I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I didn't want to be wrong.
Right.
Maryland is a duty to retreat state. So I got this guy, two guys that the church paid for them to go get their carry permits so they could do security at the church.
Right.
So if one guy's in the parking lot and one guy's in the church, and there's a shooting inside the church and the guy in the parking lot hears the shooting, doesn't he have a duty to retreat, or is he allowed to go in there to help his friend?
Right. So I'm going to preface this, and I know you're going to understand why I'm saying this, but I'm going to preface this by saying I'm not a lawyer, and I don't claim to be. But my understanding of the law, coupled with reality, is, you know, in a situation like that, he might have a duty to retreat, and he can. But the kind of the duty to retreat, first off, you know, you have a duty to retreat if such means are available and it doesn't put you or others around you in more harm. So what I would say and how I would think about it is, could the guy in the church might be able to retreat, and he could safely retreat, and he could be able to be fine. But in doing so, he's leaving other people. I'm trying.
Imminent danger.
Yeah, in imminent danger. Yeah, I mean, so like, no, I don't. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't claim to be, but I cannot see any prosecutor or DA saying, "Oh, you left. You didn't leave the church when you could have. You just you stood your ground and you defended these other people when you could have just left and ensured your safety. You violated the law, and we're going to arrest you." So I don't see that happening.
I don't think anybody, any court in Maryland would ever hold you liable for saving people's lives.
Right, and honestly, it all comes back to this too. Like I tell everybody, and I really push this on them. I know you understand this. That's why once you do whatever you got to do, once the police show up, whatever, that's when you shut the fuck up and let your lawyer do their job. They will be able to better articulate why what you did was within your legal right. You don't explain that to the law enforcement at all. Not that they're out to get you, not that they're bad people, but you did what you got to do. Now let your lawyer do what they do best. Let the professionals do their fucking job.
Yeah, I tell everybody I teach. I tell them, when the police get there, just be as polite as you can, as calm as you can, and tell them, here's my attorney's number.
Exactly.
And I'm going to do the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah, and like I tell people, they're not out to get you. They're not bad people, but they got a job to do, and they will do it. And they will, anything you say or do can be used against you. So limit what can be used against you by shutting up.
Right. So what do you think about wear and carry insurance?
I think that anybody that owns a gun, even let alone owns a gun or anything like that, I think that you'd be dumb not to have it.
Absolutely.
2 months later, I was graduating high school, and within a week, I was on the bus down to Parris Island and started what was my 5-year contract with the Marine Corps active duty. Didn't talk to my family because of all that stuff that had been happening and stuff. Didn't talk with them for pretty much my entire contract. During my time and stuff, I kind of just tried to focus on the Marine Corps and leave the past, in the past to a certain extent. Didn't really talk about it, didn't address it. But during my time in the Marine Corps, that's where I kind of cleaned up my act. I went from being a hellion, rebellious person, even did some shoplifting and stuff when I was in middle school, high school and stuff. Wasn't the greatest person, but I kind of left it all behind. And the Marine Corps shaped me into and helped me take my life in a different direction and become, who I am today. In multiple ways. During my time in the Marine Corps, I did security forces for nuclear weapons and submarines. I was actually supposed to part of my contract was I was trying to be Yankee White and go up and do security force at the Pentagon, the White House, and Camp David and whatnot. But because of my arrest record, I didn't quite meet the threshold needed for that. So I got the next best thing. I got to freaking guard nukes and subs in the most boring place ever, Kings Bay, Georgia, which actually the town outside of that is actually called St. Mary's. So I left St. Mary's County, Maryland, and went to St. Mary's, Georgia. And was there for about 2 years. And when I got orders from there, I got the Navy Marine Corps. They cut me orders to Camp Lejeune. And at Camp Lejeune, I went straight to Weapons Training Battalion and out at Stone Bay. There, I got to do what kind of was a big pivotal point for the rest of my life. And I got the opportunity to go to what's called Coach's Course. And I got to become a 0933, a combat marksmanship coach. And after graduating coach's course, I got signed to Alpha Range. And I got to meet some of the best people in the world that I got to work alongside every day for the next 2 years. There at Alpha Range, I was a what they call block NCO. Our main objective, as always, in firearms is make sure everything's being done safely. Right, that was the first thing. But also, not second but not least was marksmanship and making sure that these Marines and sailors were more effective and more safe with their firearms. So when they go down range, they go overseas, they go wherever they got to go, that they can do what they got to do in an effective manner. And it's all part of the Marine Corps' mission, and that never changes. Every Marine's a rifleman. Spent almost 2.5 years on Alpha Range. I got very good at what I did there. In general, I tend to be a very humble person, and I'll let you know what I don't know. But there I became legitimately a subject matter expert. I got very confident, very knowledgeable in what we were doing there. And while it was, I guess you say to a certain extent, hard for me to leave, my contract was up. I'd only picked up corporal after 4.5 years, and by that time you had to have staff sergeant by 10. And instead of trying to play catch up and hopefully, be able to stay in after 10 years, I decided to exit the Marine Corps and start my civilian life. And first year or two in civilian life wasn't that great. I hopped around from job to job. I worked at a cemetery. I was a supervisor at the cemetery. Did that for a couple months. Ended up deciding to leave there, go and try the college thing out and use my GI Bill. I couldn't stand that. I hated that. That was probably one of the most stressful things I ever did because I wasn't that great of a student. Like I said, I wasn't that great of a person growing up either. And I graduated high school with a 1.9 GPA, believe it or not, and that was with cheating my ass off. But college didn't work out for me. I was struggling and stuff. And ended up getting offered a job with a local nuclear power plant to do armed security there, and I did that for about 14 months. Did that there, and ended up deciding to move on from there and did another security job working as a supervisor this time for a smaller company that operates out of Prince George's and Anne Arundel counties. While working, at that security company, I started helping out with their sister company. Training security officers on everything they need to know when it came to being a security officer, for everything from how to use your taser, handcuffs, baton, OC spray, handguns, and I really enjoyed getting back into the training side of things, but I didn't want to do the security thing anymore, and I didn't really want to train security officers anymore. I wanted to train average everyday people, and so I started actually helping that security company, the security training company, start doing classes more like that. I remember we did a class or two for Utah concealed carry and a few other states, and I saw a need there. I saw that I could fill that pretty well. That company that I was helping, they didn't really want to expand upon that, which I get and I understand it and work with their mission. So I decided to start my own company, Practical Training Professionals, what you know today as PTPGun.com. Got the trailer dropped off, brought it over here to our spot that we're going to do a class here in Calvert County, and got to get the grass cut in preparation for the range day on Sunday. So I'm going to head to the barn and drop the truck off and get the lawnmower and get this thing knocked out. Let's see. And that's what our focus is training average everyday citizens, helping them access their rights, their Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. Doing that not only in Maryland, but many other states. I remember, you know, I resigned from that position, and the next day, it was like, hey, PTP. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
I just got done cutting. I cut that one part that we're actually gonna shoot at, and then I started cutting down at the bottom a little bit, but I made like, you know, 20 passes over the same like 4 stripes. So I might come back like either tomorrow or Monday and finish that up so it doesn't look all half-assed, but I started it though. February 1st, fast forward a little bit to February 1st, 2016. I resigned from my position at the security company and the training company, and I decided let's do this full steam ahead. Had no plan, you know, had no customer base, had nothing. All we had was a Facebook, and that was it. And so I went through one of those website builders, and I built my website from scratch. It looked all right. It did what we needed to do. I started making flyers on Microsoft Word and posting them up on gas pumps all throughout the area. I was saving them as a JPEG, and I was sharing it on Facebook, all these different groups. At that time, Facebook was it. You know, I was able to post stuff all over Facebook to advertise my company for free, and got a lot of good feedback. Got a really good return on my investment of my time.
I wouldn't worry about it because it's so thick down there. We'll get the bush hog down there.
Okay, no worries. All right.
Yeah, I'm just working on a bunch of these applications so I can get them mailed out today, and submitting all these HQL things. So I've done some already. I just need to finish a couple more. Okay. Did you figure out the postage thing when it came to those applications? And we were putting on classes left and right. We started off doing one decent sized class every month, and by March we were doing. We started getting 2. By May we started doing 3 a month. By June, I think it was, we were doing class every weekend, and they were getting pretty good full. I mean, we were doing 15, 20 people. Went from just doing it in a, I remember our first real class, we did it in a pizzeria. Yeah, Raylene showed me everything the other night, so cool. I just need to print out those stickers, slap them on here. I have all the envelopes stuffed already. All right, and the fingerprint guy knows the location, all that type of stuff? Yeah, yep, they're good. Cool, cool. All right, sounds good. You got anything else for me? Nope. All right, sounds good. We'll talk to you later. All right, bye. Yeah, bye. Why the vlog? The vlogs specifically, because it's different from anything else we've done on our YouTube channel, and I feel like it's different from what most other gun channels offer. A lot of times in the gun world and on YouTube in the gun world, you'll see all the glitz and the glamour. You'll see the product reviews. You'll see those who just go out there and shoot things up and blow things up with tannerite and whatnot. And that's all great. I enjoy watching those videos too, but I wanted to show everyone what goes into it, because this is not a Saturday, Sunday business. This is not a Monday through Friday. This is not a 9 to 5. There are a lot of early mornings and late nights. There are a lot of miles on the road, driving from venue to venue, dropping trailers off, picking them up, cutting the grass of where we're gonna be shooting at, shaking hands and kissing babies and stuff. It's a lot that goes into it, and it doesn't happen overnight either. I love what I do. I love how I do it. I love, what it does for me. So I hope that if you guys haven't yet already, if you're a subscriber, you've been a subscriber for, weeks or months or years, I appreciate you all tuning in and following me along this journey that I've been on, and I'm gonna continue on. If this is your first time seeing me and realizing, who I am and what I do, even if you're not a fan of firearms, even if you're not a fan of firearms training, even if you don't like the Second Amendment, I hope that maybe I can bring some knowledge and experience to you that you don't have to experience firsthand. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notifications bell, and follow me along in this journey in trying to expand the gun community and trying to have, gun owners be safer and more responsible with their firearms.